Hi, Mr. Fawaz.
Hi,
So,
Linda.
yes, so our next session will be presented by Mr. Fawaz Shakralla. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Linda, for the introduction. Hi, guys, and welcome to this presentation. I'm very excited to be able to share with you the knowledge on this presentation and specifically how blockchain can help bring benefits to you, either if you are an entrepreneur or if you are, let's say, an executive or a managing director of an existing company. How blockchain can bring benefits to your company, or if you are running your own venture, what are the opportunities that blockchain presents to you as an individual, or let's say you want to be able to elevate your career level and you're looking for a new opportunity, and how blockchain can help in that space. First off,
sorry to interrupt you, but we can't see your presentation.
Oh, okay, sorry, okay.
Yes, okay. And you will have control over the presentation.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Linda. Okay, so first of all, of course, I want to a huge thanks to the team, to the organizing committee of the Arab MTech for making this possible. I'm sure it was a major challenge for them to be able to coordinate the different speakers in different countries, so a lot of credit goes to them. So many thanks to them for making this presentation possible and this event possible. So I really hope that you'll be getting some valuable feedback and information in this presentation. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. Okay, so before we start, I just want to get your opinion on something very quickly. So these guys represent some of the world's most popular application that we all cannot live without today, right? And I want to get your opinion here and let me know what you think. What do all these guys have in common? If you think about this right now, what do all these founders of, for example, Kareem, Instagram, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Airbnb, what do they all have in common? You can just type in the chat here what you think is the answer here. Of course, besides the fact that they're very wealthy, but what else? What else they have in common? I'll just give a chance for you guys to reply in the chat. I have to switch to the chat, unfortunately, to the window to see the questions, but it's okay. Okay. Okay, because of the time, I guess I'll just keep on going. So this is here's one thing to consider, right? All these guys had zero experience in the industry which they are now leading, right? When they first started out. So for example, Korean founders, right? Do you think they actually worked as taxi drivers? No, they never worked as taxi drivers. They never worked in a train station. They never worked even in the transportation sector. One of the founders, he was working for as a management consultant for a company. And the other guy was actually a product manager for an existing company, but they had zero experience in transportation, never worked in the industry ever before, right? And yet they were able to create a product or solution that gained international mass appeal, right? Instagram founder, you'd think someone who has photography experience or someone who worked for Sony or Canon or Nikon would come up with the idea for a photo sharing app on your mobile. But no, Kevin Systrom was actually traveling with his friends on vacation, and he wanted an easier way to be able to share photos on his mobile phone instead of going and downloading the images on their camera and uploading to the laptop and email them to their friends and family, right? So he never, as Sony and Canon was manufacturing cameras since the 80s, but not a single person who worked for Sony or Canon or Nikon came up with the idea of Instagram. So he used actually an idea and he combined with the latest technology at the time, right? So for Kareem, for example, they had an idea for a service and they combined it with the latest technology, which was geolocation tagging. And they were able to create a solution that gained international mass appeal, right? WhatsApp founders, they were just programmers at Yahoo. Snapchat founders, they were just programmers in university. Airbnb founders, 3 founders, not a single one of them had experience in hotel management or in the hospitality sector. They never even worked in a hotel or a bed and breakfast or an apartment combination or even in the real estate sector. And yet they had an idea for a new service and they combined it with the latest technology at the time, sharing of web photos online, and they created an international service that gained huge international mass appeal. So blockchain is a technology. It has many advantages and opportunities. if you're able to have an idea and combine with blockchain technology, you'll be able to gain an experience and have a service or a solution that can hopefully gain international mass appeal. So Bitcoin uses blockchain, right? Bitcoin is only one type of an application on the blockchain, right? It's only one single type, and look what had happened to the financial world worldwide. So let's take a look at how blockchain can offer different advantages for you to consider for your existing company or as an individual or running your own venture. So the agenda for today is I'll be talking about part one of the presentation. I'll talk about the current reality, how COVID-19 impacted companies today, blockchain career options, what are different options in your career if you're going for blockchain career option. We'll talk about a report called the Future of Jobs Report, which was issued by the World Economic Forum in October of this year. And then we'll talk about some blockchain opportunities in different industries. And the next part of the presentation, I'll talk about the next reality. How does blockchain solve business problems today? We'll talk about how specifically blockchain is catering for business problems. And we'll talk about blockchain in financial services. And of course, blockchain in the education sector, and then also in the government sector, how it can help resolve business problems today in the government sector. So let's go ahead and start and begin. So part one, the current reality. Okay, so first we have to understand where we are today. So this was published by Harvard Business Review in 2017, and the numbers are shocking. More than half of Fortune 500 companies simply vanished due to digital transformation, right? Disruption. And the technology which are leading this disruption and transformation, AI, RPA, IoT, basic automation tools, and now blockchain, right? And we've seen that happen many times before over, right? If you think of the mobile days, back in the day of BlackBerry, everybody was on BBM, it was the new hot thing, everybody had a BlackBerry messenger and texting and sending messages. And BlackBerry had 53% worldwide market share. The other remaining was for Nokia. And then what happened? Apple comes up with the iPhone, and then 5 years later, they no longer exist. BlackBerry doesn't exist anymore, right? And different applications are impacting Airbnb, WhatsApp, impacted revenues of mobile operators, SMS revenues, and so on. So all these are happening. So every industry is now being impacted. So technology is like it's almost like a double-edged sword. If you don't use it to improve your products and services, to improve your market share, your competition will use it and they will cut you out. It's just a simple fact that's happening now. And with COVID-19 just made this even much more intensified as competition strengthened between different industries. So let's take a look. So COVID-19 impact on companies. So this is taken from a book called The Answer by Alan and Barbara Pease. The 80-20 principle, which I'm sure all of you are very familiar with it, the Pareto principle. So it states that 80% of your sales revenue is coming from 20% of your customers, or your top 20% of your customers, right? So that means your top 20% are contributing to your majority, 80% of your sales revenue. So what happens? If one of those customers leave you, guess what? It's going to have a direct impact on your sales revenue, right? So the idea and the aim is how to prevent your top 20% customers from leaving you or from churning you. Because guess what? Right now with the COVID-19 impact, customers are a lot more demanding. Even if you are a B2B model or if you are a B2C model, customers are so demanding that if they see your competitor or a startup fintech option providing a service or a product similar to yours but at lower price point, guess what? They're going to go and leave you and go to your competition immediately without any hesitation because of the price point competitive, because of COVID-19 impact on businesses, right? And this has huge pressure on companies today to make sure you have to leverage the latest technologies. So what options do you have? You have to make sure you leverage the latest innovative technologies, blockchain, AI, RPA, robotic process automation, or let's say IoT, to ensure that you're providing the best level of service for your customers at the best competitive price points, right? And that's a huge impact, and that's now in the minds of many directors and executives on all across different industries and different companies. Another aspect is now this, existing versus acquiring new customers. Statistically, it costs 3 times less to maintain existing customers than to acquire new customers. So think of it this way. If you're using Etisalat today as a mobile operator with your mobile service, And then 2-3 years later, you had enough of Etisalat. Now you want to shift. You just had enough of their service. You said, okay, I just want to shift to Du. Once you shift to Du, there's no way you're going back. 90% chance you will not go back to Etisalat. And this is happening across different industries. The second the customer looks and finds a better service or product, they're going to leave you and they will never come back. So if you as an organization or company, it's going to cost you 3 times more to win that customer back. And if that customer is one of your top 20% customers, which is impacting your 80% of your revenue, it's a huge cost on your bottom line. So again, you have to invest in latest innovative technology to ensure the customers don't leave you, and to ensure that you're looking at the customer's best interest in terms of best quality of services and the best, most competitive price points on your quality of your products and your services. So how do you do that? By leveraging blockchain, by leveraging new technology to ensure this you don't lose your customers. So this leads to digital transformation, what's been happening for the past 5 years now. And I'm sure when you have attended many different digital transformation online sessions or webinars about what companies are doing to transform their products and services to improve their value proposition for their end customers. So now the questions which are now executives and directors are actually trying to answer: how can we use AI to improve our products and services? How can we use AI, IoT, which is Internet of Things, to improve customer experience? How can we use RPA to reduce our operating expenses, to provide better service to our customers? How can we use blockchain to increase revenue, reduce time to market, or even reduce our churn rate, right? Because the goal is always to provide the highest quality of service with the most competitive price points for our end customers, for your customers. So all these questions are now being answered by finding talent and finding skill sets that people, candidates who have skill sets in those areas, in new technology areas, which the companies can actually look for. So this creates a huge demand for innovative technical skills across the board, across different industries: healthcare, telecom, real estate, and so on. And we're going to see exact examples of this in the next coming slides, right? So the idea is to be able to leverage by getting new skill sets, acquiring new skill sets in the new innovative technologies such as AI, IoT, and cloud architecture. Encryption and cybersecurity is a huge area. And specializing, you'll be able to improve your skill set in the marketplace and improve demand for your skill set by those companies. Okay, so this was a report published by the World Economic Forum in October of 2020. It's called the Future of Jobs Report. And in it, they actually interviewed over 20,000 companies surveyed globally across different industries. And they asked them the question: what are the technology aspects that you'll be adopting for the next 5 years, from now until 2025? The companies were interviewed they had a staff of 100 or more employees, and they were national and multinational companies. Let's take a look at some of the numbers. The numbers are actually shocking. These represent different industries. When you look at one of the technology sector, distributed ledger technology or blockchain, when you look at, for example, in financial services, FS, 73% of companies surveyed confirm that they will be adopting blockchain and distributed ledger technology in their enterprise over between now and the next 5 years, right? In healthcare, 72%. In digital ICT, 72% companies interviewed, they said they will be adopting blockchain and distributed ledger technology in their enterprise. And if you look at other technologies, for example, if you look at cloud computing, financial services, banking, 98% of companies surveyed in financial services confirm that they will be adopting cloud computing in their organization, right? AI, same thing, 90%, 95% digital ICT. For healthcare, 89% of companies will be using AI. So this presents a huge number which says what company will be actually adopting for their organization. In the same report published on country profile for the UAE, 84% of companies surveyed confirmed they will hire new staff with skills relevant to new technologies. It's a huge number, 84%, right? In the same report, in Saudi Arabia, 86% of companies surveyed will be acquiring artificial intelligence as a technology within their enterprise. All this presents and shows you and proves to you that there's lots of opportunity in those different technology aspects. So how can you leverage that? And here's further proof. This is a report, a website called blocktribe.com. It posts on a weekly basis different blockchain positions, cryptocurrency developers, project managers for cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency analysts, and smart contract developers from different companies worldwide. The companies who are posting these jobs are offering some of the highest salary scales in the world in comparison to the IT industry. And you're going to see positions from North America, Europe, and the Middle East, specifically from the UAE, which are hiring for top talent in blockchain positions and offering salaries in excess of 40,000 dirhams per month in some cases, which I've seen, right? Which is we're very huge in comparison to other industries in the IT space. Okay, so why blockchain? Why does it prove an attractive technology, right? So we have to take a bit of history here. In 2008 financial crisis, when the Wall Street banks would discover that the world economy was sinking in a huge, deep recession, and then we later find out that the Wall Street bank, the executives, they were responsible for the financial crisis in New York, which impacted the entire world. And there was unemployment and there was foreclosures. And then fast forward a few years, then we realized those executives and the CEOs of those different banks all left without with their bonuses untouched, and they weren't even prosecuted in court. So what happened was there was a guy in California by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto said, I cannot trust the system. I can't put my money into a system where it's actually going to be abused by these people, and they're going to get away with it if they had the chance to do it again. So he launched a cryptocurrency application called blockchain. And 5 years later, a guy named Vitalik Buterin, who was a programmer and even in university at the time, he was actually very active on the Bitcoin blockchain. And he was trying to understand blockchain as a technology, what else can it provide for the enterprise? How else can we use blockchain technology, which makes Bitcoin possible, for corporate applications, for enterprise applications? How can the corporate business benefit from this application? And he created Ethereum. Ethereum became the standard for ICOs, or smart contract applications, to be deployed by different companies and corporates. So with Ethereum came up STO, security token offering, record registration, which also provides new opportunities that blockchain presents, or how it can solve world problems. Smart contract applications are now being used in financial services sector and the legal practice sector to help solve critical problems which were not possible before. So with this, Ethereum created a new economic model for us to be able to consider. Let's take a look at some of those. So before we take a look at examples, we have to understand the structure of blockchain very briefly. Blockchain is a transaction-based system. It's an open ledger, decentralized distributed ledger technology. Once you do a transaction on the blockchain, if I send 5 Bitcoin to my friend Abdullah, I cannot, the transaction is going to be registered permanently there, right? It's going to be completely there, and it cannot be changed or deleted or modified in any way, which presents a huge opportunity. Every transaction has a date and timestamp, and every group of transactions are grouped in a block. So today, in a specific block, you have 120 to 160 transactions in a specific block in Ethereum or in Bitcoin, for example. It's decentralized because there's no central authority that controls the blockchain. You can't call the bank and say, oh, I made a mistake. I sent Abdullah 5 Bitcoins. I want to get them back. No, you can't do that in the Bitcoin world or in the Ethereum world. Once you make a cryptocurrency transaction, you have to convince the other party to send it back to you, right? This presents a huge opportunity and relieves the possibilities of fraud and falsifying of records, right? So all these presents new opportunities for us to consider in the blockchain space. All right, so this is where we are now. We finished the part 1 of the presentation. Now we're going to take a look at part 2, which is blockchain. How does it solve business problems and in financial services and education? So let's go ahead and continue. So these are simple business problems. In the education sector, one of the biggest business problems today facing us is fake certificates. So today you can actually purchase a PhD, a master's degree online for like $400, $500, even $1,000 by the specific university, which are all fake, unfortunately. Companies are offering this. So how does blockchain come as a solution? QR code on certificates. University of Bahrain started doing this, and even in the UAE, Etisalat Digital started offering this in a program called Shahada, which is a blockchain-based application, where every graduate now will receive a certificate, let's say a bachelor's or a master's. It's going to have a QR code on it, and you'll be able to scan the QR code using the mobile app of the university. So let's say if you graduate from the University of Bahrain, you can actually open the mobile app and scan the QR code on the certificate, and it will scan and confirm to you from the university's application on the mobile that this This student, Muhammad, actually graduated in 2018 with a bachelor's degree, with actually or master's degree, whatever the case may be, with his major in that area of field. So this presents a huge opportunity for us to be able to leverage with blockchain, making this possible. Fraud activities of, let's say, fraudulent birth certificates, fake passports, fake death certificates, fake driver licenses, all these fake car registration, which is a huge problem now, even in GCC in the Saudi Arabia, where people are copying car registrations and selling them off to secondhand users. So this presents now, how can blockchain help? Again, a QR code issued on the specific document, if it's a passport, if it's a license, if it's a car registration, and linked to the actual traffic authority, it will confirm to you this actual document or this car registration is actually authentic and original and issued by the traffic authority on this and so date and signed off by the quality assurance department. All this presents many opportunities that blockchain is now solving for us to be able to cater for different business problems worldwide. So Emirates NBD was one of the first companies to actually implement blockchain in 2018, and they did this on their check system. So today, if you want to be able to sell your car in the UAE, and let's say different buyers come to you, and one buyer gives you a check from Emirates NBD, you'll be able to open the QR code download the Emirates NBD app and scan the QR code on the check, and it will confirm to you this check is authentic and original, and it is issued by Emirates NBD. So how does it make you feel as a seller? Security, transparency, and trust, that you're trusting that this check is authentic and not counterfeit. And also now they're adding the option where you can actually scan the amount on the check, and it will link to the Emirates NBD core banking system and will confirm to you this buyer, the account holder of this check, has sufficient funds to carry the amount on this check. This is a huge advantage for you to be able to rest assured as a seller or as a business that you are actually getting a proper service and you will be able to cash in that check because the account holder has sufficient funds to carry the amount on this check. So this is one of the first blockchain successful use cases, which gave a lot of benefit for Emirates NBD. And one of them was reduced cost, customer loyalty and retention, customer acquisition, quality of services, and so on. So this actually gives us to the next use case in the education sector. In the education sector, you have actually, it's all digital. It's called Shahada, the program which now they're launched in the UAE, and they actually go to different universities and they are authenticating university with the actual blockchain transactions. So the response here from the Etisal Digital said this revolutionary solution will save time, effort, and resources by enabling these institutions to securely issue credentials on the blockchain and avoiding forgery of paper-based certificates, creating educational passport. So that means you as a student, when you graduate from university, your information is secure on a blockchain hosted by that university. So if there's any discrepancy, you'll be able to ensure and scan the QR code. It will link to the university's database system, the blockchain-based system. It will confirm to you that this original certificate, a bachelor's or a master's, is actually authenticated and approved and issued by that university, even if it's Zayed University in Abu Dhabi or any other university in the UAE, right? So another example use case, this use case was submitted to Consensus Academy last year in 2019, and basically a blockchain for a metro system. Let's say, for example, the use case was specifically about building a metro station between Dubai and Sharjah. We all know the problem, the issue, because many people who live in Sharjah actually work in Dubai. So they commute to Dubai every single morning. And that creates a huge traffic congestion on Sheikh Zayed Road and on the highways, and especially in the morning rush hour and evening rush hour. And this increases accident rates and make a huge issue for the traffic authorities in the UAE, in Dubai. So the blockchain solution here is that we want to be able to build a metro station between Sharjah and Dubai, but the cost of construction is huge between the two emirates. For example, if it was $20 million to build this specific solution, how can we use blockchain? The solution here is token share ownership. Imagine this. Imagine you'll be able to purchase a token share ownership of the new metro station in Sharjah constructed, and you'll be able to own 5% profit share equity in that metro station, right? Let's say you'll be able to purchase for $10,000 or $20,000, and you'll be able to get that 5% stake as profit share in that metro station. And every year, the profits generated from the metro station gets sent to your bank account directly as the 5% reflected in your profit share as an ownership share. So this way, they'll be able to reduce the cost of construction. Let's say if it costs $50 million, 25 million will be issued in token share ownership offering for the public to purchase from, and the 25 million will be used to build the construction from the government entity. So this way, the government can save 50% of the cost of construction for such high transformation or transportation projects that they can now make possible. This presents a huge opportunity, and this is the same concept now being applied in real estate sector, such as smart lands in UK, where they're building student accommodation, hotels, or real estate development projects and issuing a token share ownership to improve the funding option for that specific project. So career versus startup, you have a lot of options here. Let's say AWS Activate has an option for startups to be able to build their solution. They're actually offering $100,000 in free AWS credit. If you qualify, you can apply for them on this website. And because AWS offers blockchain as a service, blockchain solution. I don't work for AWS. I'm not promoting them. I don't get any affiliates from them. I'm just telling you what options are available. Because this is based in Bahrain, they're offering this as well. In Microsoft, Azure are also offering free credits on Azure cloud architecture for you to deploy your blockchain solution on and for you to benefit from. They're offering, I think, up to $50,000 of free credit for you to be able to deploy your solution on Azure cloud architecture, and for you to be able to test your solution to see if it gains traction, to see there's demand for it, and then to help you save your cost if you're a startup, if you're a venture going into the blockchain space. Okay, so one more thing about COVID-19 impact. So now with this whole year now, we realize the impact of COVID-19 on different industries. Travel sector, hospitality and hotels were impacted. People were laid off. Salaries were cut across different industries. Real estate developers were scaling back down. Event management companies suffered huge in terms of redundancies. So now it's reaching a point where many of these people are saying, okay, how can I reduce the possibility of this happening to me in the future? How can I improve my skill set to ensure my demand for my skill sets in the marketplace? How can I upgrade my skill sets which are in line with digital transformation, right? So here's the thing, by finding out the skill set that satisfies a business need, and you can follow your passion for that. So an example, you make a list of your passions and you research what business need does that passion caters for. So we saw earlier AI as an application. For example, cybersecurity and encryption is an area which is in hot demand, which has high skill sets. So what skill sets are needed for you to be able to match the business need to serve, to improve your employment rate in the marketplace, right? For you to be able to be the hero that you want to be for your family, for your friends, and to prove to yourself that you want to reach financial success, right? So one example here is marketing. If you have a passion for marketing, what are the in-demand skills, business need for marketing? For example, it's big data, business data analytics, growth hacking are all now SEO optimization, are all marketing, digital transformation, digital marketing certificates are all high demand skills by different companies they are looking for, which you can actually contribute, which you can actually sign up for training, you can do online research and be able to improve that skill set and prove to you, and which will improve your employment rate in the marketplace, especially from now until the next 5 years, to ensure that you don't get impacted by different conditions and to be redundant or to be, in terms of what we saw with COVID-19 impact on the actual industries. So this is taken from NLP, and neuro-linguistic programming, which is an area of psychology that helps to treat, let's say, depression, and it also helps to treat like different behavioral disorders. So your motivation type, based on NLP research here, this applies globally, worldwide. We either have different types of two types of motivation. Either we go towards a specific goal or an objective. So, for example, you want to win the Olympics. You want to get the gold medal. You want to go, you want to win the actual regional competition. You want to join a team to win an actual competition, international or regionally. So you have, let's say you want to be a CEO of an existing company, or you want to launch your own startup as a venture, and you want to be the owner of that venture. You want to sell it off into the marketplace. So you have a specific end goal you want to reach, and you build your skill set to reach that specific end goal. That's one type of motivation. The second type is away from a pain area or a negative situation. This is now very prevalent because of the COVID-19 impact. So people who got impacted by COVID-19, I mean, I'm one of them, people who got impacted by COVID-19, now they say, okay, how can I get away from this situation? How can I avoid this negative situation from happening to me? If people were actually laid off, or they got impacted from their income, got impacted, or the business was impacted, they had to close down. So now they feel this is a very painful, emotional situation. How can I ensure this does not happen to me in the future, right? So by improving your skill set, by improving the skills that you can do to always be in high demand based on the areas that we saw earlier, the World Economic Forum, the Future of Jobs reports proves to us what are the skill sets required that are in demand for the next 5 years from now until the next 5 years. So upgrading your skill set applies to both motivational types, whether you're going towards a goal and objective, or whether you want to be able to avoid a painful area. So you want to improve your skill set in the marketplace to ensure your skill set and your CV is always in high demand, right? So this is me. I started doing blockchain training since last year, and the majority of these people now are actually, who took the course, are now trading in cryptocurrency. A lot of them are, and they're always asking me questions. Should I buy this? Should I buy a Litecoin, and so on, which is fine, right? There's always a first step when you get into blockchain. You can actually get into cryptocurrency trading and then start learning what else can blockchain provide you for other applications in terms of not only cryptocurrency trading or buying and selling Bitcoin or Litecoin, but other applications for your corporate, or if you had an idea for a service that can help your company, it can prove very valuable to help your employment rate in the marketplace. This is a free tool I wanted to share with you guys. It's completely free. Resume Worded, it enables you to upload your CV online, and it will give you a score out of 100. How does your CV compare in the different industries? And let's say if you get like 50, as a score of 50, it gives you different options on how you can improve your resume or your CV on the LinkedIn platform. So based on your score, it will give you, for example, you have to reduce number of bullet points, you have to maybe increase different action verbs you have to use, and it gives you a very important statistics, and it's all completely free. They have different options available, but it's actually completely free for you to be able to see how you score. It was created by actually former recruitment agencies and executives who worked in recruitment companies, and it's using AI tools to be able to understand your CV, how does it fare in the marketplace, and to improve, to get, I mean, they claim here land 5 times more interviews, opportunities, and job offers by improving the score on your CV, by improving the visibility of your CV by doing this. And so this conclusion, we reached the end of this presentation. I hope it was valuable. We talked about the first part about the current reality. We talked about the next reality. We talked about how blockchain can help solve world problems. And we also talked about what are the opportunities that blockchain presents in the marketplace. This is my contact details on LinkedIn. I'm happy to answer any of your questions if you guys have any, to be able to help you if you want to elevate your career in blockchain. Maybe let's say you have 5-year experience and you're a manager or a project manager, you want to be able to improve your skill set, or maybe you want to have a career leap into blockchain because now it's offering very high salaries. These are different. We talked about different options and how you can improve your skill set in blockchain, and to prove your skill sets are in demand in the marketplace today, to make sure the companies that are hiring for those skill sets between now and the next 5 years will always be looking for candidates such as yourself. I'm just going to go back to the session. Linda, are you with me?
Yes. Thank you very much for your presentation. We will allow like 1 minute to take any questions.
Okay.
So is there any question from the attendees?
I see the raised hand. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Now the session is. Okay, and just a bunch of chat sessions. I don't see. I don't see any specific questions.
I would like to remind also all attendees to complete the conference feedback form. Thank you.
Okay. Let me see. Do you see any questions from your side? Maybe I'm looking at somewhere.
Actually, no. There was some chat.
Okay.
Yes. If there is any question, they can send it. Hold on. I think Hatem asks if, okay, could I consider private blockchain as decentralized?
Great question. So when you're going for a private blockchain, it's not completely decentralized because you own the application, but you can still benefit from the encryption technology that blockchain has. Because the advantage in a private blockchain that you set the criteria for confirming the transactions on the blockchain solution, right? So when you set the criteria, you sort of remove the decentralization aspect or advantage. If you want to go completely decentralized, it's always recommended to go on a public blockchain such as Ethereum or Bitcoin. But many companies do not want to take that option. So they start off with a private blockchain and they see how the application behaves and the volume of transactions. And then when they decide it's ready, now they can migrate over to a public blockchain to get the advantage of the completely decentralized aspect of it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Fawaz.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.